Hello, my little night owls. It's Luna here, your guide through shadows and secrets. Tell me, have you ever stared in the mirror and thought, if only I could change this one thing, then I'd be perfect? Well, careful what you wish for. Tonight's story is about two girls who discovered that perfection isn't free, and sometimes the price is more terrifying than you can ever imagine. So get comfy, dim the lights, and prepare for a chilling tale. But before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another spooky adventure with me. Now, lean closer, because this story begins with a reflection and ends with a scream. The price of perfection. Amber and Stefani had been best friends since kindergarten. They did everything together, walked home from school, swapped lunches, whispered secrets at sleepovers. But as middle school pressed its heavy hand on them, things began to change. Amber was tall and gangly, all elbows and knees. Stefani, on the other hand, was short and chubby, constantly teased by other kids. Neither of them fit the glossy, polished image of beauty they saw on social media or posters at the mall. One rainy afternoon, they ducked into a narrow alleyway shortcut to escape the downpour. That was when they saw it. A shop neither of them had ever noticed before. Madame Vex's body of work, perfection crafted here. Amber frowned. That wasn't here yesterday. Stefani's eyes sparkled. Maybe it's new. Let's just look inside. The bell above the door jingled, though the sound was muffled, almost as if it came from underwater. Inside, the shop smelled, faintly, of roses. And something sharper. Like iron. Glass cabinets lined the walls, filled with mannequin heads, porcelain limbs, and even glass eyes that blinked when they passed. Behind the counter stood a woman, tall and elegant, dressed in a gown that shimmered like liquid shadows. Her smile revealed teeth too white, too sharp. "Welcome, my lovely visitors," she purred. "Are you searching for improvement?" Amber hesitated, but Stefani stepped forward. "What do you mean?" Madame Vex gestured to the mannequins. "Here you may trade. A flaw for perfection, a weakness for beauty, but nothing comes without cost. Are you willing to give a little body of work?" Amber's stomach twisted. That sounds creepy. But Stefani's curiosity blazed brighter than her fear. "How does it work?" Madame Vex pulled out a silver mirror framed with twisted vines. The glass shimmered, and in it, Stefani saw herself. Not as she was, but as she longed to be. Slimmer, taller, beautiful. Stefani gasped. "I want that." The woman extended her hand, pale and cold. "A small trade. A piece you don't need. A toe, perhaps. A single rib. You'll hardly notice." Amber shook her head violently. "This is wrong. Steph, let's go." But Stefani's face was lit with longing. "It's just one little thing, Amber." "It won't hurt." Before Amber could stop her, Stefani whispered, "I'll do it." Madame Vex snapped her fingers. The room darkened. A shadow hand reached into Stefani's chest, and with a shiver, something invisible was pulled out. Stefani gasped, stumbling back. She looked down at herself, her waist slimmer, her body taller. "It worked!" she cried. Amber grabbed her arm. "But at what cost? You gave up something." Stefani shrugged. "So what? I look amazing. You should try it." Amber shook her head. "No way!" But later that night, as Amber stared into her bathroom mirror, she couldn't stop thinking about her knobby elbows, her awkward face, her too big feet. She whispered to herself, "Maybe just one change." The next day, Amber returned to the shop alone. Madame Vex was waiting, her grin wide. "Ah, I knew you'd come back." Amber bit her lip. "Maybe just one small thing. My ears, they stick out. Can you fix that?" The woman's eyes glowed. "Easily." "A finger, perhaps." "You won't miss it." Amber's heart pounded, but she slowly nodded. A cold rush spread through her arm, and in the mirror, her ears lay flat and perfect. Her hands trembled as she noticed her pinky finger was gone. She screamed. "You didn't say it would disappear." Madame Vex smiled. "I told you, everything has a price. At first, it seemed worth it." Amber was less self-conscious. Stefani walked with newfound confidence, heads turning in the hallway. But then the whispers started. At night, Amber swore she could hear the faint scratching of her missing finger against the walls. Stefani dreamed of breathing without lungs, gasping and choking, as though the rib she'd given away still called for air. And worse. Their reflections began to change. One evening, as they studied together, Stefani glanced at the mirror over Amber's dresser. She froze. "Amber, your reflection." Amber turned and screamed. The mirror showed her face sagging, melting, hollow where her finger had been. "Stop looking!" Amber shouted, throwing a towel over the mirror. But Stefani couldn't stop staring at her own reflection either. Her once slim body warped, stretching unnaturally. The rib she'd lost left her side caved in, grotesque in the mirror world. "We have to go back," Amber said, panicked. The girls stormed back to Madame Vex's shop. The woman greeted them with a smile. "Ah, my little masterpieces. How do you like your improvements?" Stefani's voice cracked. "It's not what we wanted. We want our pieces back." The woman's laughter was cold as winter. "Once given, never returned. The body remembers, but it cannot be made whole again. Unless—" Amber's eyes narrowed. "Unless what?" Madame Vex leaned closer. "Unless you finish the work. Perfection requires sacrifice. Give more, and the ugliness will vanish. Trade until there is nothing left but beauty." Amber backed away. "No, that's insane." Stefani hesitated, trembling. "But what if it works? What if we finally look like we're supposed to?" Amber grabbed her. "Steph, look at us. We're falling apart. Don't you get it? She's stealing us piece by piece." The shop's mannequins suddenly twitched, their porcelain faces cracking. From their mouths came faint whispers. "Help us." Amber gasped. They weren't mannequins at all. They were the broken bodies of Madame Vex's past customers, trapped forever. "Run!" Amber screamed. They bolted from the shop, the bell above the door tolling like a funeral bell. They didn't stop running until they collapsed on Amber's front porch. For weeks afterward, their reflections haunted them. The missing parts never returned. But slowly, painfully, Amber and Stefani learned to accept themselves again. Not perfect, but alive. And they never set foot in that alleyway again. And so Amber and Stefani discovered the dark truth. Perfection is an illusion, and chasing it can cost more than you ever imagined. They lost pieces of themselves, but they gained a lesson that can never be taken away. Remember, my friends, your flaws are not curses. They are the marks that make you unique. To trade them away is to trade away yourself. If you enjoyed tonight's spooky tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another eerie adventure with me. Until next time, I'll be waiting in the moonlight with another story to share. Sweet dreams, if you dare.